Hey, good people everywhere. It's Michelle Caskey, your laughter coach, coming to you on day 22 of our October Whimsy Challenge. And before I get to our whimsy, I've got whimsy for us. Before I get to the whimsy, I just want to share with you that quite often there is a secondary benefit that arises from the whimsy. So I was inside, I was at my desk, I was working on things. Okay, that is fine. Working on the things is fine. And then I come out here to make this whimsy. I'll get to what the whimsy is going to be. And I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but up in the sky, can you see it? Oh, I hope you can see it. There is a perfect half moon right there in the sky, right there by that tree. Anyway, and I just love the moon so much, and it is beautiful tonight, and I never would have noticed it if I had not come out here to do this whimsy challenge for me and for all of you. Also, the presidential debate has just started, so it's probably not bad for me to be out here on a cold fall night making some whimsy instead of getting too worked up on my couch. Without further ado, I want to get to today's whimsy challenge, which is to yarn bomb it. And let me tell you what I mean. In my yard, I've got this post. It's got something to do with fire department. We're not going to mess with the functional parts of this. But I've got this, and then right behind it, I have got this gas meter. And to tell the truth, here in my little yard, there's a few things that could be yarn bombed. And if you have this little guy, I don't know what I'm going to do with him, but he's begging for it. Now, to yarn bomb these things just means that we're going to wrap them in yarn. And I am going to put some pictures of some examples I've seen where they've wrapped trunks of whole trees in yarn. Now here I have crocheted some sections of yarn just so that we've got a little bit more of a rope texture, and I've just made a big length that's got multiple colors on it. That's one possibility. And then I'm just not very good at crocheting, but you know what? I don't think it matters. So I've crocheted this little guy, and the tricky part, I was going to put him around, this around, oh goodness grass. But I wasn't 100% sure how I was going to attach it, although I do like how that looks. Oh boy, do I really need to figure out how to make that work? Is that better? Maybe that's better. Now the other idea, of course, is to just take this section of kind of rope and to wrap it around the pole. I suppose we could even just tie it for the first section. Like, why not? That's the good news about being out here. Nobody cares. It doesn't really matter. It's a low consequence job here. Oh, I think that's good. Okay, now the trickiest part is going to be down at the ground. Right down there. I'm sitting on the ground. You got to be right down in the dirt to do this properly, you know. And now here comes some of my neighbors. I hope nobody thinks I've fallen and I can't get up, because that would, I don't need any intervention here. I don't know what I'm up to anymore. And shoot, I don't know half the time what I'm up to myself. Okay. I think I'm gonna just do I'm just going to do this part where I'm just going to start down at the ground, and I'm going to wrap it around. Okay, this is not sexy, and there is surely a better way of doing this, and I don't care, because it is the making of the whimsy that is the important part. And I have been determined to make this whimsy. So we've got this piece down at the bottom, which, yeah, I'm just gonna tie a knot. I don't see why not. I don't see why not. A knot would not work. I don't know. Okay, and then I've got quite a bit of a length. So it's gonna be a bit tedious. And I got hat problems. And we got bigger problems than my hat, I can tell you that. With everything, but okay. Now, it has gotten dark while I've been doing this, and I'm clearly not done. But I love how it's looking. And so I've got a little bit more crocheting to do to get it finished here. But there's a few things I've learned. First of all, you don't want to have one big, huge length of stuff. You can tie them together. And so it's almost like I would just do a length of one color and then just have a whole bunch of ones, because really if they're about 3 feet long, they go around really easily on a pipe this size. And then, yeah, you just tie them in a knot and then keep going. And that looks just fine. Also over here, I don't know if you can tell, but I just needed to secure it until I can make some more. And so I just used a little paper clip, and that fits right over the top of it and holds it into place. So I'm not worried about it moving. I do like this technique of crocheting. This is just kind of a long length, kind of a rope, and it's basically like a double back and forth on itself. I'm going to show you how to do that. But yeah, this is working. So I'm going to go inside because I'm only a little less than halfway done. And I want to finish now because this is working out really, really well. And just before I go inside to finish, now of course my light is no good at all because it has gotten dark. And so kind of as almost a secondary whimsy, I would say, is to be outside at night in the dark in the winter. We don't do this when it gets cold. And there is something about it that's quite sweet, knowing that it's warm inside, it's quite chilly out here. It's just fall, it's not winter yet, but it feels so cold. And that's the same way I feel about my mornings, is that there's a quality of the light and how the plants are, and there's no birds out because the sun's gone down anyway. So I would encourage that as part of your whimsy challenge as well. Okay, I'm Michelle Caskey, I'm your laughter coach. I'm going to post some pictures of how this looks finished, but I'm gonna go ahead and post this day 22 video so you guys can get started on your own. And if you try this, I'd love to see pictures of how yours worked out. I think I'm gonna wrap all of these things that I've shown you because I'm enjoying this. All right, and it's very good. It's very good. I kind of mentioned it briefly before, but it is very good to be involved with projects that have very little consequence. If this pole looks good or not, it doesn't matter. You know, there is a benefit to making art and just trying something because you want to, and it doesn't matter. It matters none how it turns out, but the doing of it matters a ton. So yeah, get your hands busy, do a little something, and I don't know. Somehow I think when the consequences are so small, the rewards are huge. Okay. Whimsy on, good people. I'll see you tomorrow.